My fellow Seahawk fans, welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. On today's show, I have my 5-step plan for how to make the Seattle Seahawks great again in 2024 and beyond. Look, we haven't done enough winning as of late. We want to win so much that we get bored of winning in Seattle. You'll never get bored of winning. I got my plan. We'll let you hear directly from Mike Macdonald on what he has in mind as we enter into a new era of Seahawks football here on today's show. We'll go over all of that coming up in just a moment. Before we do, if you're like me and you want the Seahawks to be great again, doesn't matter who you're voting for, red, blue, independent, libertarian, I don't care. We can all agree this is a unifying message that we want this team to be great again. We're not settling for early exit. We don't want to miss the playoffs again. We want division titles. We want conference titles. We want Super Bowls. We want to be great, folks. Like the video if you want the Seahawks to be great again, and we'll get started here on today's show. Step one in the process to make the Seattle Seahawks great again is building a wall on the defensive line and make opposing offenses pay for it. That's what we need to see. It's been a problem for the Seahawks over the last couple of seasons, in particular when it comes to run defense. But Mike Macdonald, one of the first things he said when he walked in the door as the new Seahawks head coach was he wanted to build a wall with that D-line. Here's what he said a while back. In general, we're trying to build a wall up the middle. Trying to stay square, trying to set hard edges, make the ball bounce inside, make them throw the thing outside. You don't want to get gashed up the middle of your defense. So you've got to have guys the right way who can play there so you can get the job done. And here's what we're talking about when it comes to the run defense in particular, which has been a problem. 26th in opponents' rush play percentage last year with 44.9%. Opponents' yards per rush, 4.6. That was 27th in the league. Opponent rushes per game, 30.3, 29th in the league. Opponent rushing yards per game, 138.4, 31st in the league. Opponent rushing touchdowns per game, 1.4. That was 30th in the league. But better days are ahead. Help is on the way to make this Seahawks team great again, folks. A foundational brick has arrived in Seattle when it comes to this problem on the defensive line and stopping the run, and that is the selection of Byron Murphy II, the rookie out of the University of Texas, who is not only a good pass rusher, but is very good when it comes to plugging up the middle and being that run stopper. His scouting report goes as follows. Thick lower half. He shoots his hands straight. He has a wide base, good pad level. He can stack violent clubs, all right? Now we're not here to promote any type of violent protesting out there, but we'll take some violence on the football field from Byron Murphy any day, right? High level of force of absorption as well. This guy really does it all, and we've already seen it from Byron Murphy so far here in Seattle when it comes to what he's done in training camp in the preseason, and the best is yet to come, folks. If you want to make the Seahawks great again, this is our new slogan around here, folks. MSGA. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but you get the idea. Spam MSGA. Make the Seahawks great again in the comments section. Let's make it happen. Let's start this new era on the right note. Number 2 in our keys to making the Seahawks great again, consistency on the offensive line. Not only do we want to see the Seahawks offensive line take big steps forward this year, but we need to see it week in and week out. We don't want to see this group have their off days. We want to see them consistently bring it, something that Geno can rely on, something this run game can rely on, and this team's only going to go as far as the offensive line lets them. Mike Macdonald has seen some progress in the offensive line. He said the following. But our offensive line, to a high degree, is going to drive our football team, and we expect great things out of them. There's a high standard to play here offensive line-wise, but there's a lot of good stuff on tape. But I think we need to be more consistent, especially with our targeting and some of the run schemes, and I think we need to give our quarterbacks some more time in some of those critical pass situations. The offensive line, as it stands right now for the Seattle Seahawks, goes as follows. Charles Cross, your starting left tackle, with Laken Tomlinson at the left guard spot. Connor Williams expected to step in as your starting center. We've been told that he's good to go and play week 1. Anthony Bradford has had a very good camp. He's the leader right now to be the starting right guard, but Christian Haynes has looked good in his own right. Abraham Lucas, if he can get healthy, that right tackle spot is waiting for him, but that's a big concern. Will he get healthy? Will he be able to make that difference? Because the Seahawks certainly need him. But I want to talk about Connor Williams for a second. Connor Williams, for me, I've said this already, I think that he is at least worth one win to this Seahawks team. It's like picking up a swing state. You won Georgia, you may have won Arizona or something like that now with bringing Connor Williams into the table. And the Seahawks need the swing states to get into the postseason, right? They're a team that is a borderline playoff team on paper entering 2024. And a guy like Connor Williams, a top 5 center in this league, the highest graded interior offensive lineman of the NFL, could be that difference maker for this Seahawks team. I'm watching out for Connor Williams. Hopefully he's fully healthy and ready to go here when the season begins. And I think that you're going to like what you see the results from him here in 2024. More to come here on Seahawks Today in a moment, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for last-minute tickets. The best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Maybe you want to go to the Seahawks preseason game coming up this weekend against the Cleveland Browns. You can do so by finding the game. They got the prices listed. Then you see what seat you want, get the visual, and then from there, you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Number 3, we need to see the best version of Geno Smith in 2024 than we've ever seen before. He had a very good first season as the Seahawks starter. Took a bit of a step back last year, but still went to back-to-back Pro Bowls. Now in year 3, I'm not asking to get the Geno Smith we saw in 2022. I want more of that from what we saw in Geno Smith. I want him to play every game. I want to see him maximize his capabilities in this Ryan Grubb offense, which he's already done a good job of so far through this point in the offseason. Mike Macdonald had this to say on his quarterback. Highly competitive. I love how Geno works. We are pushing him to take the next step as a football player and as a leader, and I think he's answering the call. Just really such a respect for how hard this man works at his craft, him as a leader, the mission that he's on. Just really respect how he approaches everything. We're on the record with how much we love him, how much of a great worker he is. And personally, I believe that there's still one more step in the maturation process for Geno Smith. That we've seen the good, right? We've seen what he can do. But I think there's more to come when we look at this Seahawks quarterback, Geno Smith here. 30 touchdowns, 11 picks in his first season. 20 touchdowns and 9 picks in his second season. If he can cut back on the interceptions a little bit, if the completion percentage can be what it was in 2022, more touchdowns, more yards, find ways to get guys involved that we haven't seen before. Go get your delegates out there like Zach Charbonnet. Go find your new voters like your Noah Fant and your JSNs of the world. If he can expand the base when it comes to the Seahawks offense, then watch out. This offense can reach new heights that we haven't seen with Geno Smith under center. Do you believe in Geno Smith? What do you think of your quarterback? Are you all in or not? Weigh in, let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't. Seahawks Today is your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. We're going to be live for the Seahawks game against the Cleveland Browns coming up on Saturday night. We also will bring you our weekly live show, our daily news and rumors, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. It's all in one place right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Never miss a moment. Number 4 on our list of how to make the Seattle Seahawks great again, I want a no-fly zone in the secondary. Nobody to get past these guys. All the time I hear from the 12s talking about how they want the days of the Legion of Boom to come back. And that's kind of a pipe dream that we all have sat here and hoped for, that we would get those days to come back again. And for me, it starts with this group just really not letting anything get past them, of establishing that no-fly zone with Devon Witherspoon, with Woolen, and then the younger cats around them. Mike Macdonald said this recently on the secondary. Of course, it's important because you're going to ask guys to do multiple things on any given down. But I think if you think big picture, yeah, we want to be able to put our guys in position to do what they want, what they can do best, so guys have that elite trait. We're going to try to do that as much as we can. But if you can do more than one thing, now all of a sudden you can present some looks and do multiple things out of those looks and create matchups that we're trying to create. So yeah, it's this one big moving puzzle. If you have any more options, you can get to more stuff, eat more easily, and you're creating better matchups for your guys. And ultimately, you're in a better spot to win each situation that's given. So kind of a convoluted answer, but that's how we see it. It starts with the DBs. When it comes to this defense, and we want to see this team get back to competing for championships, these DBs are going to be the ones that lead the way. We've already seen Devon Witherspoon be that vocal presence, right? He's been kind of the new leader of this defense. But it's not just all talk. You got to have some action involved too. And you look at this defense, we're going to see a mix of 3-4 and 4-3s. Emphasis on disruption. I'm looking at that secondary to really disrupt some things, right? Win the down, affect the quarterback. Usually we think of the defensive line, but I need these DBs to be aggressive, a physical mindset. Woolen, I can't have you being afraid to tackle here. I need you to get after those guys and bring them down to the ground and play fast. All gas, no brakes when it comes to this defense, and in particular with that secondary room for the Seahawks. Let's take a look at the depth chart for both the corners and the safeties here. Trey Brown, the leader in the clubhouse right now to be the starting outside corner next to Woolen. Devon Witherspoon, a lot of high hopes and expectations for him of what he could do here in 2024. A lot of people already talking about him potentially being a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Meanwhile, you look at the safety room. Julian Love, I think, is going to be very good again. He'll build upon his strong first season Seattle last year where he was a Pro Bowler. Rayshawn Jenkins, I think, is going to be a nice fit. Going to be able to create some turnovers there. And then Kobe Bryant, watch out for him. He's had a nice preseason. I think that he can add some variety to this mix. You heard Mike Macdonald say they want guys that can do multiple things. This provides some flexibility for them to be able to play 3 safeties if Kobe Bryant can be consistent as far as that goes. Last on our list of what it's going to take to make this team great again is a winning culture. It's that buy-in from everybody. I don't want anybody looking in the mirror and doubting themselves and thinking that they can't do it. They need to have each other's back and buy into everything that Mike Macdonald is selling this team. And Mike Macdonald, he took some guys on a visit to an Army base this offseason, and it really had to do with the mindset that he wants in this winning culture in Seattle. He said the following: we kind of held on to certain things that they pointed out to our team. Some of the similarities that they have in the Army and the military, and similarities through football that cross over. So I think the guys have been doing a good job taking those words and combining it with what we do. It's a military mindset from Mike Macdonald that he's bringing to this Seahawks team. Every man together, fighting for one another. This is a brotherhood here in Seattle, and they're going to continue to build on that brotherhood from here on out. Macdonald, I've been so impressed. He's the youngest head coach in the NFL at 37 years old. We've seen the comparisons calling him the Sean McVay of defense and all that. But what we've seen is this is a man that, as the commander-in-chief of this Seahawks team, he is in complete control. This is his team. He's owning it. The guys are embracing him, and now they need to keep that up as the season goes along. How do you think this season's going to go? If you predicted the Seahawks record, what would it be for 2024? Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to make the Seahawks great again, do your part. Like today's video. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm a fine American, Tyler Jones, and I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.